Hey guys, 2-6 families of functions. Okay, well, there's going to be a slight modification with respect to the assignment. You will be doing 1 through 18 on the worksheet that's attached instead of the book assignment. Um, there's a couple of reasons why this has been decided, but the main one being that it is more closely aligned with what you will be assessed on the test. So therefore, you'll be more prepared doing the problems from the worksheet instead of the problems from the textbook. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Example 1 deals with a vertical translation. Vertical translation is going to be that movement that is purely up and down, okay? So any number on the outside of the absolute value symbol is moving up or down. So if I see y equals the absolute value of x minus 5, I know immediately I'm moving down 5. If I see y equals the absolute value of x plus 17, I know that I am going up 17. Doesn't matter anything else, but that's information that I know just based upon the equation and the properties and rules that I have. Okay, so with that said, taking a look at the example for your notes. Now it does say graph y equals absolute value of 2x and y equals absolute value of 2x plus 3. We are going to just focus in on the part that you are supposed to be graphing. You are going to need to describe that translation and then also sketch it. So two things that I know you're confident, or I'm confident that you can do and do well. Primarily, looking at this one, we have discussed that if it's on the outside, then that means that is a vertical translation. It's positive, so we're moving up. So this is going to be up 3, okay? On the test, on your homework, I would expect to see up 3 instead of the arrow. All right, now, graphing this, you're still going to use the y equals the absolute value of mx plus b plus c from 2, 5. But remember, we have x is negative b over m. If you look at this equation, we have y equals 2x, and then that plus 3 is on the outside. So it matches with the c. It does not match up with the b. So 2x plus what equals 2x? Well, that's 2x plus 0. So then our starting point is located at negative 0 divided by 2, which is just 0. All right, so let's go ahead and do the t-charts. And we have 0 in the midpoint, negative 1, negative 2, 1, 2. Plugging this in to this equation here, right, or this one up here, whichever one you want to look at, same thing. We have negative 2 times 2, negative 4. Absolute value is 4. 4 plus 3 gives us 7. Negative 1 times 2, negative 2. Absolute value is 2. 2 plus 3 is going to give you 5. Plug in 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 gives you 3. Excuse me. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. All right, so now let's go ahead, excuse me again, and sketch this graph. All right. All right, so we've got negative 2, positive 7. I'm hoping that's negative 7. Negative 1, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Excuse me, 0, 3, 1, 5, and 2, 7. All right, so now we draw this out, and here you go. Now, if you look at your graph, what do you notice? 1, 2, 3. It shifted up 3 units. Okay. Any questions on that? You can't answer them or ask them this way anyway, so I have no idea why I just asked that. But if you do have a question on what just happened there, please feel free to email me. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to check it right at that moment and during the class period that you have me, but I will look at them and at least address them in class on Tuesday. Okay, looking at the next one, the horizontal translations. So this is moving right and left, and this one takes place inside of the absolute value symbol, and it is the opposite of what you want to think. So we have -5 inside. This actually tells you to go to the right 5, like they have here. If you wanted it, or if it was left, you wanted it to go to left, then you would say plus whatever the number. So with that said, describe the translation y equals absolute value of x plus 3, and then draw its graph. You can see that tells you to go left 3, and then voila, here you go. All right, so let's take a look at this one. The horizontal translation. Describe the translation y equals the absolute value of x plus 4 and draw its graph by translating the parent function. Okay, so if it's inside absolute value, then that means you go right or left. If it's a positive number, you actually go left. If it's a negative number, you go right. So this is a positive 4, so that tells us we're going to go left 4. Okay, so we're going left 4. Now, I'm going to give you the shortcut on how we graph those, since we did it the long way on example 1. All right, so we moved left units. So we normally start here, right? Because it normally has that look to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the slope for an absolute value is going to be up 1 to the right one, and up 1 to the left one. And there you go. Okay. That is only because this has a coefficient of 1 there. And you can see your, if you were to do your starting point, it starts at -4, 0, which is where we're at. Okay, so part B, write an equation for the translation of y equals absolute value of x, right, 2 units. Well, that's already filled out here. I'm going to have to make that correction for the future. But we have y equals absolute value of x minus 2. We went right 2 units, so right tells us that we have to have a negative number, and it was 2, so that's where that x minus 2 comes from. All right, let's take a look at the quick check just to help make sure we get this hammered home. A, the graph is a translation of y equals absolute value of x. Write an equation for the graph. Well, that's easy-ish, right? This is -1.5. So if we have that this is -1.5, pretend that's pointing at the vertex right here, then, or 1.5 to the left, we know that since it went to the left, it has to be a positive number, so we have x plus 1.5, the absolute value of. All right, part B, describe the translation. Y equals absolute value of x minus 1. Well, since that's a negative, that tells us we're going to go right 1. And that's what you would write, right 1. Then draw the graphs of y equals absolute value of x and y equals absolute value of x minus 1. Well, we know that it's going to go right 1 unit. It does not have a coefficient of x greater than 1, so it starts here because it went right 1 unit, and you're going to have this branch and that branch. All right. Okay, final example for today. Just joking. I could have sworn that there was one more. Let me see. Oh, no, we are not doing that one because it's not tied in with what you have. All right, looking at the combined translation stuff down here, okay? So this is both. You have the parent, the vertical translation, the horizontal translation, and then both. And you will see both of them. We're really concerned about this part of it because that's what we're looking at. Vertical translation is going to be outside of your absolute value symbol, and it is true to form. If it's positive, it's going up. If it's negative, it's going down. For the horizontal, the right and left, it's inside and it's opposite of what you naturally want to think. So this negative, you might want to go left, but you actually need to go right. This one is positive, you might want to go right, but you need to go left. And then this one is going to have an up-down movement as well as a right-left movement. So this tells you how much up or down, and this tells you how much right or left. Okay. All right, guys, that's about it. Hopefully you find this section relatively easy. If you don't, make sure you are writing questions down, and I mean that. Don't just leave something blank and say, I don't get it, and I'll just find out later, because that's not going to help you. Writing down those questions is going to help you formulate a thought process. It's going to help you be stronger, which is what my key goal is for you at the end of the day. So I hope all is well, and if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Have a great day.